The Philippines is located just above the equator. It is between 5 to 21 degrees north from the equator and 110 to 130 degrees east from the prime region. It is part of the Southeast Asian region, which encompasses 11 countries: Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Singapore, Malaysia, Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, Brunei, Timor-Leste, and the Philippines, which are of great diversity in terms of religion, beliefs, culture, tradition, and history. The Philippines, as a country, is surrounded by different bodies of water and land masses. If a person asks where the Philippines is, in what ways can we describe its location using these surrounding bodies of water and landforms? In this video, you will learn about the location of the Philippines with respect to the land masses and bodies of water. At the end of this video, you should be able to identify the different land masses and bodies of water surrounding the Philippines. The Philippines is located in the eastern region of the world. Specifically, it is part of the Asian continent. The world is divided into 7 continents, which are believed to be part of a supercontinent called Pangaea. Alfred Wegener, a meteorologist, proposed this particular idea in his continental drift theory. On the other hand, the Philippines is located in the southeast portion of the Asian continent. As you can see, Philippines is one of the archipelagos in the world, since it is surrounded by large bodies of water and comprises 7,641 islands. One of the ways to locate the Philippines is to identify its vicinal location. Different landforms and countries surrounding the Philippines gives its vicinal location. Of the landmasses in the north of the Philippines are Taiwan and Japan, while in the northwest, China is located. The landmass in the southwest of the Philippines is the Malaysian Peninsula, while in the south is the Indonesian archipelago. In the west, we can find mainland Southeast Asia, which includes Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, and Myanmar. Far from that, different types of land masses are found in the Philippines. Elevated portion of the Earth's crust, generally with steep sides that show significant exposed bedrock, is called mountain. It is characterized by the presence of rocks and sharp slopes. Mountains are formed due to the folding and bending of rocks or volcanic activities. On the other hand, when a series of chain of mountains are positioned parallel to each other, they form mountain ranges. The Sierra Madre mountain range is the longest mountain range in the Philippines, which extends from the Cagayan province to Quezon province. Another type of landform in the Philippines is a volcano. It is like a mountain, but it has a crater or vent on top where rocks, lava, or ash are released during the eruption. Examples of it are the Mayon and Taal volcano. Hill is different from volcano since it has no magma or ash. A hill is a landform that is usually rounded and is lower than mountain. Hills may form through erosion or deposition of soil and rocks. An example of it is the famous Chocolate Hills found in Bohol. Another landform is the valley. A valley is an area of lowland found between hills or mountains. A river or stream is usually found in valleys that give it a unique V or U shape. An example of it is the Cagayan Valley. A plain is a vast area of flatland. It is mostly filled with grasses and has no trees. It is usually formed by eroded soil from hills or mountains that have settled. They are usual sites of crop cultivation. The plains of central Luzon are considered the biggest plain in the Philippines. Aside from the land masses, the bodies of water that surround the Philippines can also be used to identify its location. This is referred to as the vicinal location. In the west of the Philippines, the West Philippine Sea or South China Sea is located. In the east, we have Philippine Sea or the west portion of the Pacific Ocean to determine the country's vicinal location. Different water forms can be found also in the Philippines. First is the ocean. It is the largest body of water on Earth, which covers 71% of the surface of the Earth. Oceans are known to be salt water. In the eastern portion of the Philippines, the Pacific Ocean is located. It is one of the 5 major oceans in the world. A sea is another body of salt water. It is an inland body of water connected to the ocean. The Philippine Sea surrounds the Philippines at the east, West Philippine Sea at the west, Sea at the southwest, and Celebes Sea at the south. Rivers can be classified as streams that flow into the ocean. Small streams may also converge to form rivers. An example of it is the Pasig River. Streams are continuously flowing water and are generally confined to lands on both sides. It provides many benefits to humans. Besides providing water and irrigation for crops, streams wash away waste and can provide electricity through hydropower. A lake is a body of water that is surrounded by land. Water in lakes comes from rain, streams, and groundwater seepage, while in other countries it came from snow and melting ice. Most lakes contain fresh water. An example of lake in the Philippines is the Laguna Lake. The Philippines' geographical location is considered to be advantageous in some aspects. However, despite this, there are still negative effects that we should be aware of. One of the positive effects of the Philippines location is it is located in an area referred to as a megadiverse region. The country has high rates of endemic species. There are many organisms, both plants and animals, that can only be found in a country. Aside from the diverse flora and fauna of the country, the Philippines is also known for its long shorelines and magnificent beaches. The Philippines has the 5th longest shoreline in the world. Tourists come and go to different islands and beaches and enjoy our shorelines. Though the Philippines is greatly blessed with wonders, the location of the country can sometimes be seemingly a curse. The Philippines is located in the Pacific Ring of Fire, an area where active tectonic and volcanic movements happen. Because of its location, the country has several active volcanoes. Major and minor earthquakes also plague the country when the Philippine plate moves. Tropical storms and typhoons form in the northern Pacific Ocean and South China Sea, located at the east and west of the country, respectively. The country experiences an average of about 20 tropical storms in a year. Despite these adversities, the Philippines is a great country to explore and rediscover. That ends our lesson. I hope this simple video has helped you to learn how to locate the Philippines with respect to the land masses and bodies of water that surrounds it and identify the different landforms and water forms located in it. Thank you for watching and have a day full of blast.